Setting boundaries since the first day that you're in the clinic. Howdy, it's Dr. Alejandro.
And I'm Dr. Emily.
And as many of you know, we have 4 clinics on our first 3 years in practice.
If you're ready to level up your business, find us at paththovictorychiro.com to get on the path to victory.
I didn't do that. Emily kind of did that. I didn't do it. I was pretty bad at that. And I'll say the example, we were with a management group, and one of the process that they gave you is give your phone number to the patient. You know, you're always going to be available for your patient. It doesn't matter the time or the day. You're always going to be available. So I'm like, oh, that's awesome. You know, that's what we learn in school. You need to like service people. So I started doing that, giving my phone number. And I started going to the clinic on Saturdays and Sundays when it was supposed to be my family time. So by saying yes to that, I was saying no to my family. Okay, let's start with that clear. And I remember, like if it was today, on a July 3rd, I think it was 2022, patient called me and said, you need to see me now because the adjustment you gave me, now I'm hurting. You need to see me now. And that's when I look at the phone, I'm like, you need to see me now. I'm like, nah, I'm with my family. I'm sorry, man. And I just hang up. And that's when I noticed all the mistakes I've done since we opened. That is like literally I'm giving you the phone number, you're controlling my schedule. And I look back at the file when I went back on Monday to the clinic, and that person literally like didn't show up that week to his appointment nor the week prior, but now he's blaming me for his pain on a Saturday when he didn't show up on the past 2 weeks to the clinic. And he was pretending me to go to that clinic when I already did it on a Saturday to see that same person like a month prior. I went there and saw him. And the same thing with a patient that could only go at 7:30 to the clinic. We open at 8:30. So I was waking up super early, normal, what I do, but I had to leave my house earlier to serve that patient. And I remember one day you literally stood in the door and said like, no, you need to say no already. Like you're saying no to having breakfast with me, having coffee with me, because you're going to the clinic just to see one patient and then you have to stay there for another extra hour until everyone shows up. It's not fair.
And there's a time and a place for this. There are circumstances where, sure, maybe you can make a concession, but that should not be the majority.
Correct.
That's not the rule. That's the exception. Setting boundaries from day one is so important. And I don't know if it's because I'm a female that I was just like very adamant about that. Like, no, I'm not giving my phone number to this weird dude. The weird dude shouldn't even be in our practice. But if I feel anywhere remotely uncomfortable, like exchanging my personal information, I'm not going to do it. Why would I do that? Correct. I have to set clear boundaries for myself. I think this also ties back to maybe like personal self-worth almost, like setting those boundaries for your personal life as well. Silly example, but for a very long time, I feel like I grew up in like a people-pleasing family just with what my parents did, and I became a people pleaser. And a lot of us are, to be frank. When we would go to a sit-down restaurant, even like up until I would say a couple months ago, if I was given a dish, if they served me, let's say a steak that I ordered medium rare and it came out well done, I would sit there and eat it.
You will eat it.
And I wouldn't say a word. And you know what? I started to become like a little bit more, I saw the value in myself. Like I deserve the medium rare steak that I ordered because I ordered it and I'm paying these people money to give me that steak that I asked for, right? And I would never go in on a Monday morning when they're closed and demand that steak like that person did for you for the adjustment when they're not open, right? Anyways, that was just a sidetrack. But I think knowing that you deserve that medium rare steak that you ordered and being able to draw that boundary, like being able to confront that person and tell them, this is not what I ordered, please serve me what I ordered, is beyond just the steak. It's more than just going in on a Saturday and adjusting somebody. It's the principle around it. It's the saying no to being with your family. And who's to say that person isn't going to take advantage of you in the future?
And it happened though. That's the way I learned. It was happening, you know, but they tell you like you have to be a great person. You need to be available. It's like, no, there's people that's taking advantage of you, you know? So that's when I had to like cross the line and say no.
There's also setting boundaries with your patients, but also setting boundaries with your staff. And this can be very hard because we are like a family. We do treat our staff like they're our family, and we're very kind with them. But we also have to draw a line of respect. They might be our family, and I may treat them like an amazing person, but at the end of the day, they still report to us.
Right.
They still have to listen to what we say. We are still the authority. And so you have to be very careful about setting boundaries with your staff as well. If they're talking to you about very personal things that maybe you don't believe you should hear, I think you need to nip that in the bud.
You have to let them know,
You also kind of have to check yourself on moments. So this is something that recently happened in our clinic, just to be candid, because we're really adamant about protecting the culture. We had a little phone issue there for a little bit of staff being on their phones when they shouldn't be, which is, by the way, stealing company time, like we've talked about. But if we looked at what we were doing, we were sometimes on our phones for personal reasons, and we shouldn't have been. Or if we're going to do that, we need to go to a room and do it in private.
That they don't see you. Yeah.
You have to inspect what you expect. So if you expect for your staff to not be on the phone, you need to make sure that not only are they not doing it, but you yourself are not doing it either. So it's a moment of self-reflection, drawing those boundaries for patients, for staff, and then for yourself as well. So we love to share our mistakes and more of our wins, our losses, and everything in between. We just launched our new website, pathtovictorychiro.com. Would love to connect with you, potentially partner with you if that's something you're interested in. And we'd love for you to check out our Facebook group, Path to Victory.